Hej och välkomna till ytterligare ett avsnitt av VP-podden. Följ oss jättegärna på sociala medier. Framförallt så finns vi på Instagram men även på Facebook, och bli gärna Patreon och stötta oss där. Kan även stötta oss via Acast+. Då får man tillgång till våra avsnitt och videos före alla andra, och vissa saker kommer vara exklusivt för våra Patreons eller Acast Plus sponsorer. Idag så har vi äran att presentera en samarbetspartner som vi flaggade lite för i förra avsnittet. Monster Pet Food kommer vi ha ett samarbete med nu, där ni kommer få se framförallt på Instagram en tävling inom det närmsta, där vinnaren kan vinna en 12 kilos fodersäck och 2 stycken vinnare till utöver det då, som vinner 2 kilo valfritt torrfoder från Monster. Fantastiskt kul att starta ett samarbete med dem, så får vi se vad det leder någonstans. Nu så kör vi vidare med avsnittet. Ha det gott allihopa och njut av lyssningen. Tack. Hej och välkomna till VP-podden med mig Johan Kato och Tobbe Christiansen. Och idag så har vi även med oss en gäst, så vi ska faktiskt prata på engelska under dagen. Men vi börjar väl som vanligt, Tobbe. Hur är det med dig?
Jo då, det funkar. Som sagt var, det är lurigt att ta små naps. Så. Ja. Det blev lite stressigt, men ja, vi är här.
Ja, men precis. Vi spelar in lite senare än vad vi brukar göra, så vi har hunnit somna, gamla gubbarna. Yes, so let's start in English then. Yeah, we have an international guest today, Alex. I actually don't know that much about you or your dogs. I was supposed to look at the EWPAS broadcast, but yeah, I have had too much to do, so I haven't had the time to look at it. So I think Tobbe is the one that knows more about you. But can you please start to introduce yourself, and then we're gonna find out a lot of questions, I'm sure. Yeah.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. It's really nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I've been doing weight pull for actually very short time. My bitch is 2.5 years, and she's been pulling for something over a year. Of course, she started learning much sooner, but competitively, she's working for about a year. But I think she's doing pretty well. She's my own breeding. I have her mother, and it's not actually they don't have a history of weight pull, but we found out with Tobbe when we were talking that actually our bitches have some common ancestors, so that's very interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, for me was watching EWPAS and seeing Harleen. It was like, I've seen that technique before, and I really liked how you ran her. So yeah, it was really cool. So I had to write, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very surprising.
So where are you located?
I'm in Czech Republic, in Prague.
Yeah. So you didn't have that far to travel for the EWPAS this year?
Yeah, not just yet. Next year is Spain, so that's gonna be new, because Poland was our first competition abroad, actually.
Yeah, that's nice. But in which rule set do you typically compete? Is it?
We started upper pool, which was done mostly in Germany, but that pretty much got cancelled this year, or so we understand. So we actually mostly did EPF, and that's what we'll probably do in the future.
Yeah. But how big is weight pulling in Czech Republic?
I would say bull breed sports are quite big because bull breeds are pretty popular in here right now. So the sports as package are popular, but weight pulling I think is the least favorite of the disciplines. I think because it's very hard and people don't have the patience for it. And also it takes a long time. If you compete, it can be boring. I used to find it boring before I started doing weight pulling. So I kind of understand it, but also I think it's the best discipline right now. So,
Yeah.
but it's really not that popular, I think.
No. Yeah, it's interesting that so many, they think it's a easy sport. They just make the dog pull, but once they start and try it out, they realize it's so much, not just the physical training, but all the obedience and everything on the track to make it, make it good. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Tobbe, you you that has seen more of of Alex and her dog, what was it that you saw that made you so interested, except for the technique?
Yeah, well, for me, there was a lot of handling that I don't consider good going on, but a lot of it is because we run our rules EWPL and they're a lot stricter. So it was fun to see a dog and a handler that I felt really connected, and it looked good and it was calm, and yeah. And then we had the technique again, and she did crazy good.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah. So when you started with weight pulling, was it natural for your dog, or did it take a lot of getting used to for her in the beginning, or how was it?
Actually, since she was like, I think 2 months old, she was always pulling on her leash. She just couldn't walk calmly, and you could tell that she enjoys it. So since she was like 2 months old, I always told all my friends, she's gonna do weight pull. I never did weight pull. I never really liked it before. But when I saw her and the way she liked the movement, I was pretty sure that that's gonna be a discipline, and I was right. So it came quite naturally to her. I think it's just in her. When I put her on the track, she just did it. And most work that we do is with her head because she gets very nervous. She doesn't really like competing. She is very stressed, and then she isn't concentrating properly. So that's what we have to work on. But the technique and the pulling, that's just in her. That's, I guess, in her genes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with stress and stuff like that, it's pretty common with staffies in weight pull. It really is. So always have to work on that. A thing I've realized is that it's easy if you push a staffy too far. It's easy to get those behaviors getting stronger. So yeah, they're a little special, the staffies.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but she was your own breeding. So is this the first breeding you had, or do you had a lot of breedings before?
Oh no, this is the first and possibly the last. I wanted to make a line of tested, super healthy, sporty dogs, but even though Harleen is great at weight pulling and she looks great, she looks exactly like I would like a staffy to look. her character is not exactly what I would like for a Stuffy. Like I said, she gets very nervous. She's not afraid per se, like she doesn't mind firecrackers and stuff like that. But I don't like that she gets so stressed. I don't think her mom is not like that. She's much calmer. She goes into things without thinking 200%. Harleen is very careful. You have to really be careful not to do something wrong because she remembers it for a long time, and then you have to work on it to repair the damage. And I honestly don't like this. I think Stuffies should be more like her mom, that they do everything 200%. And they're not like this lately, but I don't want to add to it.
No.
But did you do any sports with her mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
She does all the other disciplines, jumping, running. She was, and I think still is, very good. So that's why I wanted a sporting dog after her that would do just as well, even though in the end we're doing something completely different, but she's good.
Yeah, because I see a lot of prizes back there, and
that's mostly her mother's.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah, I thought that was a good first year pulling, but yeah.
No. And in weight pool you mostly get ribbons, so
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's changed. Typically when I was competing a lot, we got a lot of I don't know the English word for it, but the prizes you have back there, but that's changed also here in Sweden. It's more medals, and one year it was ribbons, but before that it was a lot of trophies. Yeah.
Dust collectors.
Yeah, of course, but I love them. I can't help it.
No, I know. I had all them up when I was competing with my two dogs, and now I only have in my office here five of the most special ones for me.
Yeah, so, as the collection gets bigger, it's harder to store it.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so but at EWPAS, it was on rails, but you typically compete on rails in Czech Republic. Yeah,
pretty much always.
Yeah, so there are no dirt tracks, or
not really. I think some people have them like for training at home, possibly, but I don't think there is a single track without rails for competitions. No. I was very surprised when I saw the videos from Tobe that you work on sand, and that's really interesting to me because we usually have only carpets and rails.
Yeah, it's really a different kind of sport when you change the track from carpet to dirt, and then also if you have the rails here. We had one competition this year on carpet indoors with the same cart that we use on the dirt, and then we had rails and dirt, so it's very different, and it suits different dogs a lot. Yeah, Tobbe. Take over.
It's really special with the dirt, and I mean up here now there's one dirt track here in Sweden, just like 30 kilometers away, and there's one in Norway, and the results on those tracks this year has been equal to the rail tracks. So the dirt tracks are really good. I mean, in Norway, now I might stand corrected, but I think they pulled 134 pound for pound on dirt. So really special.
That's great.
So,
I must have tried.
Yeah.
Thing is that dogs that can handle the carpet on the rail track, many of them do good on the dirt too. Like my girl, she runs on all free surfaces and doing good. So, and we only train carpet in here. So, so it's interesting. How much did Harleen pull on the EWPAS?
I don't want to lie right now. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
It was so hard. It was so hard to follow. It was so hard to follow. So
when I get into it, I just concentrate on the jog, and in the end, I forget what weight is on the card, and I never remember our final weight. So
it's the same here. People ask afterwards, well, what did you pull? I don't know. So,
yeah.
Is there any
results? She did a great job.
Yeah, but is there any results anywhere for the EWPAS?
They usually upload it on the website. I can check.
Yeah, I'm
doing there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I checked the Facebook page a little bit here, but it looks like it's a nice place to have competitions on. This place where they have
actually I'm not sure if they own the track or if they just rent it, but most competitions in Czech Republic actually take place there, or they have one more track in the same town.
Okay.
So it's usually in that town because they do the EPF competitions. So most of it happens there.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's like here then. No weight pull in the capital, more or less.
yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I found it here. Harleen, 105.17 pound for pound, or percentage, 1,220 kilos.
Okay, I couldn't find it, so
yeah.
thanks for it.
She's really light, 11.6. That's the perfect size, I think. Around 12 kilos. That's I'm actually, the next dog for me, it's going to be a Staffy, and I would like it to be in that range, 11 to 13 kilos, a little bit less than my 30 kilo Amstaff I used to have. So it's going to be nice. Oh. Well,
there's some really loud, weird music there.
Oh yeah, we can hear it. But otherwise, how it's quite interesting to see the results. Is the rail there? Is there any incline or is it flat? Oh, she froze.
No, she's back.
Oh, no, she's back. Did you hear?
Okay,
did you hear my
sorry.
question? No, you didn't hear my question. Is the rail is it flat or does it have an incline?
There's always an incline, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what percent incline it is, but there's always an incline.
Yeah. That's good. I really like that.
It's the same we have in EWPL.
Yeah.
We have to have an incline on 0.75 at least, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually it's around 1%. So, and you ended up second, but you have beaten the dog that won before.
Yeah. It was quite close, I think, very, very close. And I think it was my mistake because I don't use strategy very much. I'm just concentrating on my jog, and I don't think about the percentage while we're competing. And afterwards, I realized that we could have done half weight, and if we did, it would probably end up differently. But I just didn't think about it at the time, and I'm really happy about the result either way because I think she did her best. So That's the
Yeah.
most important thing for me.
Yeah, she did really good, and it looked good. And yeah,
Thank you.
you'll get that dog again. You'll beat it again. So.
I think he's finished competing now. He's
Okay.
like 9 years old, so I'm happy for him. Honestly, he
Yeah.
deserves it.
Yeah, it's the same in -20. The Finns that were down with Ruben and Rhino. I mean, they are 11 and 12 years old. So.
Wow.
Yeah. And Ruben has won about 120 EWPL shows.
Wow, that's
He's
crazy.
competed since he was 1.5, and he's won it all. He's crazy. And yeah, it's the same. It's the same guy that has Clara Bell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she was
really
really
like
good.
her.
Yeah, she's really good. And she was second on EWPL EM this year, so she's really, really good.
Yeah.
So
It's really, yeah. Well, I'm a numbers guy, you know, and I starting to see the results here. It's hard to concentrate because, yeah, I don't know why I didn't check it before, but yeah, it's really interesting to see. It was a big class, 12
yeah.
dogs. So I know EWPAS attracts a lot of dogs, but how is the typical competitions down there? Is it a lot of dogs that competes?
I would say that the number of dogs that was at EWPAS is kind of the typical number for a competition. It depends. Sometimes it's a bit less, but I must say that when it comes to EPF, you see, in my opinion, mostly really good dogs. Of course, there are different competitions in here that are not under EPF or any organization at all. Like people just do their own competitions, and those can be around, I think there was one that was around 50-60 dogs, but that's really crazy. That doesn't usually happen. And it includes the dogs that use lure on the track, which is something completely different. So
Yeah.
the EPF competitions, I think, are usually something like the number of dogs that was at EWPAS.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big difference between. Whittle has come a long way. I mean, there was APA in Sweden, but I think they tried, but that's like 15 years ago, but never caught up. But in Denmark they have EPF, so they run shows in Denmark under EPF. So.
But how is the rule? Is it EPF that had the 3-second rule in the start, that the dog needs to be still for 3 seconds, or what organization is that, Tobbe?
I think it was the EPF in Denmark. I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't look like it at EWPAS. So maybe they changed it this year. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just a Danish rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah, but in the start we have discussed it, that just the false starts, to say, in EWPL the dog can't start before you get a okay from the judge, and in our mind that the perfect would be if the dog sits there and you walk over the finish line and then the dog starts on the command. But you don't need to walk across the finish line, so you just need to walk start the dog pretty much. But we saw that in Denmark there was a 3-second rule, so the dog has to sit still or stay still in 3 seconds before you can start pulling. And we really like that rule to get the stress and yeah,
the slingshots and stuff like that.
Yeah, so get rid of that, because I think wherever you are, I think that's the most detrimental for the sport to see a lot of stress and a lot of slingshots, and that makes that people really can appreciate the fine part of the sport when they see that one. But when they see a nice clean pull from a dog that's yes somewhat stressed, because in every max effort you are quite stressed, but when the stress is under control, it's just in my mind a pretty thing to see. And so that's why we really like the 3-second rule. But yeah, we can see on your face that you have never heard of it. Yeah.
I've never heard of it, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I really like when the dogs are calm at the start, and it's something we strive for, but we're not able to achieve it at competitions. In training, yes, but in competitions, she's very eager to start, so I have to keep her in place, and she wants to go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but in EPF, walking starts are okay, so a lot of people use those. I don't really do a walking start, but I have to help her stay in place in competition, because she's too stressed to stay, and it's something that I want to work on, and definitely I wish she could stand still before I give her the command. It's something that I really think is great.
Yeah. But how does your training look like? I mean, how many days a week, and what kind of training do you do?
We actually don't do much training on the track, and if we do, in the middle of the season, I get her on the track like once a week, but we don't really pull weights or very low weights, and I'm working on her starts mostly. That's what's my biggest issue right now. I want her to be calm in the start, and I work on her nerves. It's getting better. It was much worse before, and we perfect the technique, and I train her endurance and strength, other weights like pulling chains, running. She's pulling scooter. We run together. She's pulling me, doing canicross. We do a lot of different activities for training.
Yeah. So, but how many days a week do you train?
I say generally 4, sometimes 5 days a week.
Oh, yeah. That's like Tobbe, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Tobbe, we can hear you. I think you turned off your mic. Yeah, and that's
and no, I got some crazy. Yeah, the host muted you, and
yeah, it's me. That the music turns. Yeah, it goes through pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
I want to go kill somebody. But no, I do a lot of drag weight. But for now, yeah, the focus are a little on the starts and get her to end the pulls in a better way. Fisen has never stopped in the start. She's never had a problem starting a weight, but her going so low on some dirt tracks, when it's really loose on the surface, she doesn't get any grip because she goes so low and so wide. So that's what we'll be working with this winter. So, but
trains pretty much the same amount, 4 to 5 days a week, both of you. And I think a lot of people we need to realize that it takes that amount of time to get a good dog, especially if you have like you have, Alex, the stress and that you need to take that down a bit. That takes a lot of time to change that type of behavior, especially because she loves to pull. So every time she cheats, she gets that huge confirmation or that she's doing it good. So it's really hard to do that. But it's nice to hear that you actually have some progress and that it's going in the right direction. Because I think that's the hardest part of training. To get a dog strong and fit, it's quite easy actually. But
Yeah, you're completely right.
Yeah, the mental part is hard.
Yeah. And it's actually what made me like weight pulling when I tried it after all, because I realized there's so much more to it than just making your dog strong. It's about the discipline, it's about cooperation. Like the strength training for me is the least of it. Everything else is what's important to me.
Yeah.
Like the way it looks, the way she pulls, the way she behaves. I want to have a beautiful pool.
Yeah.
And we're not there yet.
It's the same here. Same here. I mean, if I feel I've done bad or the pulls look like shit, it doesn't mean anything. So even if I win, it's like nah. There's things to work on. Yeah. So and you have to work on those parts. I mean, you don't end up second on EWPAS in that competition if you don't have a good dog and you have worked on things. So, I mean, I've competed again a lot against the third and fourth dog. Yeah, I competed against Abra too, but I mean, if you look at Clarabelle and the Tigra,
those were great dogs.
Yeah, they've been fighting it out all year. If you look at last season, it was Tigra won everything in Norway, my girl won everything in Sweden, and Clara won everything in Finland. And it's been like that this year too. It's been those three dogs, more or less. So. And EWPAS EM was hard. It was a hard fight. So.
And those were great dogs to watch.
Yeah. But we all have stuff to work with. I think the problem in weight pull in general is that people get satisfied. Yeah, the dog is pulling, and we're on that level, and yeah, that's fine. And then they don't try to get better. So.
But is it a lot of discussion regarding the stress and that kind of problems, so to speak, where you are? Or is it just as long as the dog pulls, it's okay?
I think it depends, because before I started pulling under the EPF competitions, I only knew the competitions that were done at like group sport events, where it's not under any
organization.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, thank you. And most of those people take pulling as exactly like you said, as long as the dog pulls and gets to the finish line anyway, is okay.
Yeah. And anything goes.
Yeah, I really didn't like it, and to this day I don't like it. And that's why weight pulling was never something that I considered. But EPF is different, and before that APA also, because it has a lot of rules, and the pull has to look a certain way, and it has to be done a certain way, and if the dog doesn't look okay and doesn't look prepared, the judges won't let you pull, and I like that.
Here we even have a vet through the whole. Yeah. So and they can go in and stop a dog at any time.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
It should be that way, because not in EPF, but there are people in weight pulling that will do anything at all to get the dog to the finish line and win. And sometimes it's really over the top and not good for the dog's health.
Oh.
They will go to extremes. So that's something I don't like at all.
How many pulls did you do with Harleen?
You mean competition?
Yeah,
Or-
on the EWPAS.
Oh, on the FPAS. I actually don't know again.
Again, no,
Yeah.
I was
I
curious.
just get lost in it. I usually, when the weight is quite high, I realize she is doing better if I go for mostly every weight. So around like, let's say 900 kilos or something a bit higher. I just go every weight until she can't anymore. If I leave out some weights, then she is not doing that well. So I don't really know.
I asked cause we talked about this in the pod before. Johan was down and doing EWPAS 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And there was an Amsta from Czechia that did like 15 pulls or something in minus 30 and won. And the dog was in EWPAS this year too. So that's why I asked. So cause it was crazy. I mean,
I don't think we ever got to that number. I think I usually do from 6 to 10 pulls, but 10 is usually a lot for me. But I just look at her and see what's good for her at the time, because every competition is a bit different for her. Like the weather, her mood, like the people that are there, the track, everything makes the competition different for her. So I have to change it up.
Yeah. That's really, really nice. And as I understand it, you stopped her. So she made her last pull and then you stopped. Yeah. And that's the way, I think that's the best way to end the competition. Yeah. And actually our time is running out. It's been really, really nice to have you here, and hopefully we will see you again.
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think
it was fun. Great fun.
Yeah. Big thanks, and good luck to you in the future. And yeah, hopefully we see you again. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Hope to see you too.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.